Hi everyone, my name is Emily Teacher, and today we're going to read A Different Way to Fly. Billboards standing along the highway are easily ignored, but a 200-foot billboard floating across the sky grabs everyone's attention. That's why blimps are so attractive to advertisers with a product to sell or a message to communicate. But advertising is only one of the uses for a blimp. So we're going to learn about blimps today, right? They have a really big space on the side of them, so they're really great for advertising. Let's find out what else blimps are good for. Blimps can be moved easily to different locations at varying altitudes. This makes them useful for a variety of purposes. Scientists use blimps for collecting samples used in the study of air pollution. The United States Navy employs them for offshore patrols. And one was even used to search for the elusive Loch Ness monster, supposed to inhabit a lake in Scotland. So, one of these really cool ways that the blimp is used is scientists like to use them, right? They can get high up in the air, but not too high to get samples, right? To study air pollution, to try and improve that for the world. Many, many different ways to use a blimp. The main body of a blimp is a large bag called the envelope. It is inflated with helium gas. The blimp stays aloft because helium is 7 times lighter than air. Once inside the envelope, the helium is left there unless the blimp needs major repairs. After the envelope has been filled, a cabin called a gondola is attached under it. This is where the crew and passengers ride. It is also where the light panels used for advertisements are attached. Computer graphics provide a dazzling display of pictures and words that can't be matched by any billboards. So now we're learning about the construction of a blimp, right? So we have the big envelope is the big balloon on top, and it's inflated with helium gas. Now, helium is also the gas they use when they fill up balloons. So if you ever see balloons floating into the room, or if you suck out the air and your voice gets really high, that's helium in the balloon that's causing that. So this helium inside the blimp allows it to float just like a balloon. And it would be a little bit of a hassle to constantly be changing the helium. And the helium will stay just fine. So unless the blimp needs major repairs, they just leave the helium in there and leave it floating. And then there's this cabin, right, where the people and the all of the light panels are going to be in. That is the gondola that's attached right underneath the envelope of the blimp. Blimps are propelled by 2 engines, one on each side, and can attain a top speed of about 40 miles an hour. Although slow in comparison to airplanes, blimps can do something most planes cannot. They can stop and hover in midair. This ability enables them to provide a stationary platform for the television cameras covering sports events, giving viewers a bird's eye view of the action. So there are 2 engines on the gondola, right, of the blimp, and this allows it to move back and forth, and it can go up to 40 miles an hour, so it's pretty slow. But unlike an airplane, the blimp can stay hovering in midair, right? A helicopter can do that too, but it's really, really loud. A blimp is very quiet, and it can just hover there in the air so that cameras can look down on a game and get really good visuals of it. Blimps are not designed to take a buffeting from high winds, though. They usually can go up only when the air is calm. When not flying, they have to be moored by the front end to a tall mast on a truck, specially equipped for this purpose. Plenty of space is needed because the blimp has to be free to swivel clear of the ground when the wind changes. So, another downside to blimps, right? They're very fragile. If it's too windy, it is not safe for the blimp to be out. So it can only go up when the air is calm. And when it's not flying, it has to be tied, right, to the mast, right, on this truck, so that just in case it moves while it's up there, it's not going to bump into anything, right? Because they keep the helium inside all the time. In some cities, it is possible to buy a ticket and go on a sightseeing trip in a blimp. Because blimps fly so slowly and at such a low altitude, those on board enjoy superb views of the ground below. You might wonder what would happen if the envelope got a small hole in it. Would the helium rush out, causing the gondola to plummet to the ground? Passengers need not worry about that. Their lives would not be in jeopardy if such a thing happened. Why? The pressure of the air outside the envelope is greater than that of the helium inside. Because of that, the helium doesn't easily escape. And because helium is not flammable, there is no danger of the envelope's contents catching fire. Flying in a blimp is safe and enjoyable, right? So, along with the helium letting the envelope go up, it also is not flammable. So it's very, very safe. And it's very rare that something bad would happen to cause someone to get hurt in a blimp because they are very slow, they are very gentle, and they are very safe. Thank you for reading with me today. We do have links that are related to each of our stories. If you want the link for this story, you can find it down in the description below.